So I had to come on here and do this quick like revamp because I just had this revelation, and I'm gonna write it down as well because um you have to put the right people in the right spaces in your life, because when you put those people in those spaces, um but you have to put the right people in the right spaces, not based on your own um just needs and wants. It can't be a selfish reason when you come into relationship with other people. You have to see where you guys mesh at, and then on what levels, because sometimes, and I think we do this wrongly in relationships and finding people that that become our spouses, that we think that they're our spouse, they're supposed to fill every area of our life. So we make expectations for them in every area of our life when they probably only served one area of their life, far as love. So you are my spouse, my husband, my wife, my boyfriend, whatever, who I'm dating, and you serve, what you're good at is giving love. So the expectations I'm going to create around you are not going to be to be my business partner. It's maybe not, if you can dabble, some people can dabble in other areas if they're working on themselves and they're growing in those type of other areas. You can get a kind of an all-around spouse. But if I know your strength is love, so I'm going to only expect you to love me. My expectations about you are going to be for love. And in that, since that's your playing field, that means now you have to have, the other person has to have set their own expectations too of what you serve in their life. So say you are a disciplinarian and you kind of in structure, and they lack in structure, so they know that you serve the space of structure and discipline in their life, so they can only put and I guess this is more about expectations and the purpose for people in our life, because not always does a person serve every area of your life. Maybe they serve one area of your life, but you have to be willing to put them in that lane and let them only ride that lane. If you are to work me out, I'm not gonna, and we got good chemistry and energy. If it grows into those other areas. But I think we do ourselves a disservice by not communicating that process of that. Like, you have to put a person in one lane. If you're my coach, you're my coach. You're not gonna be, if you're my personal trainer, I'll give a specific so it can make more sense. You're my personal trainer. We have good energy connections. Oh, we like, okay, we can grow like a personal training business. I'm gonna put you in that lane. So my expectations are gonna be only for you in the lane of business and personal training and making sure our bodies are good. What becomes the problem is when I start putting, because we got this good energy, then we think now that means just because we got the good energy on that level, then now you can go into other levels of being my lover, my confidant, my whatever. Now, we engage in other activities and stuff like that without having that communication line of saying, okay, now if we're going to go into that realm, what aspect of you loving me is your strength? So I'm not expecting you to, because love is a very vague word and everybody loves different. So how do you love? How do I love? And then how can we help each other in that aspect? So I'm not expecting you to love me on, if my love language is affirmations, but you are, since you're a coach, you don't know how to love softly. You don't know how to give. You probably are really good and you can give. If my love language is words of affirmation, and you encourage me, and I know you can probably do that because you encourage me as my coach. But if you're a coach that you're just blunt, you don't care, you ain't giving no soft words, you just kicking it in the butt, you're probably not going to be the person that's going to actually be my lover. Even though we have that connection, don't let sometimes the connection fool you to put people in wrong spaces in your life. You serve a good purpose. You get the most out of me. When you put people in the right place, you get the most out of them and they get the most out of you. So now you're going to get a diluted version of me because you're not really truly loving me the way I need to be loved, because you can't give the words of affirmation that actually speak to my love language. See, you got to put people in the right places and be willing to have those open communication lines of what that looks like in every stage. It's never too early to have those conversations. It's never too late to have those conversations. You just have to make sure at some point in your life, you're going to have those conversations with those people in your life and put them in the right spaces. And then when that space is changed, be willing to talk about that. Be willing. And if you don't have somebody that you know you can talk about that with, then they're probably not going to go any further than where they at. And you will hurt yourself. And then if you take them to different spaces of your life and y'all haven't even had the full conversations about the stage that they're already in, if they're just a friend and they're not properly being the right friend, do not try to, because he looked good, try to make him your husband. Because some here and there y'all can talk, and you know he may do some things, because you also step over into another. You have different expectations. People don't understand their self, that you place expectations on different parts of yourself. The way I work with somebody is not the way I love somebody. So think about that.